Welcome back to the vlog. We are in New York City. I'm really excited to vlog this trip. Actually, I've never vlogged any of my trips to New York. I think now for sure at least the fourth trip. I've been before on a couple of girls' trips with some of my friends, and the last time I was here though was when Jagger proposed, so we got engaged. What a memory, which is why so nice when I think of it now. I'm like, this is legit where everything began. And so we decided, both of us, this is where we want to spend our baby moon. And you guys are gonna be getting ready with me for the day. I already finished doing my hair and I'm dressed. I'm just gonna do a little bit of makeup so I don't look so tired. A lot of people ask why we chose New York. That I'm against any other location. I think Jagger and I are just not the kind of people who enjoy tropical weather very much. We're just not huge beach people, which is crazy because we literally live near the beach. But as travel goes, we've always been the type of couple who loves adventure. So I love to be out and about, bopping around, doing things, eating, walking is huge for me. I love to be able to walk everywhere, and New York is literally my favorite place in the world, above any other international country I've had the privilege, I should say, of visiting. I don't know why, it just has a special place in my heart. I love it so much, and I think that's why I really liked Paris the one day we spent there for a layover during our honeymoon, because it's very similar, but it's foreign. Yeah, lots of special memories I've made here in the past 5-6 years that I've been coming, and so since being married, I haven't been able to come back. Mostly because life, I feel like everything changed for me once we got married. We obviously conjoined our finances, but also there was just tons of responsibilities that came into the picture. The trip just never really made sense with all the stuff I had going on the last 3 years. And then really wanted me to come for my 30th birthday last year, but honestly we just couldn't afford it at the time. I think it would have been a stretch. And then his dream location to visit in general together, we've been once, but it's been years. We went before COVID, Japan. And so we did think about actually doing our baby moon there early on in pregnancy, but obviously it would have been around this time. Ultimately just decided not to because it legit was just not worth the risk, considering how I had been feeling even into my second trimester when it came to food. So we're out here right now, and I feel like we get to enjoy a lot of my favorite places, and he has always liked the food here too, even though New York isn't his favorite place in the world. He says he likes it enough to me and spend time together, of course. She's like, if I can't get my dream spot, then at least you can go. I just didn't want to risk going all the way to Japan, and even though I felt like I had it in me, physically, I didn't want to waste just such a trip and then not be able to indulge on the food the way I'd want to, given just my gag that I still experience midway through a meal. Nausea sometimes still kicks in here and there. Really tons of cravings, but like I said, if I came to a place I've been to before, then I wouldn't have these high expectations for myself to want to eat everything in sight, because at the end of the day, just my little brush. At the end of the day, it's really mostly about spending time together and taking a trip with each other for the last time, because this will be the last time it will be just the two of us and mine. Honestly, that has also been so interesting. I've never had to think of traveling with a child or a baby whatsoever up until this trip. And I'm actually really happy that for the first time I experienced flying. I did something that was short, and we did have a layover, so that was helpful. I got to stretch a little bit, eat some snacks at the airport. Use the restroom because I feel like I have to pee every hour and a half. But last night we got in around, I think by the time we got to the hotel, it was close to 5 o'clock. Checked in, and we're staying near Times Square area, and I've never stayed around here before. Times Square is honestly not, in my opinion, the safest spot in New York. It's very much like LA. If you've been to LA, when you go visit Hollywood, it's yes, it's Hollywood, but it has its parts that are just not the best. But the specific area we ended up at was right outside Times Square, so it's not too bad. It's walking distance, but it's still really close to Rockefeller Center, Radio City, and honestly Central Park, which is really cool. I love being really close to Central Park, actually. In my opinion, it's probably the nicest out of New York, and so is the financial district. It's just a lot of people who work and are always busy. Before we left, we were cleaning our house like crazy. So I had been on my feet, I want to say the entire day, Friday. And then our flight left at 5 a.m. Saturday morning. So we did not sleep basically the entire night up until like just Saturday night. I definitely fell asleep a lot on the plane, but Jagger, he says he just cannot sleep on planes. So he had a really hard time with the flights, and he's the one who gets mostly scared. Like, I told him, like, I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to just deal with it because I need to go to bed. Like, I'm pregnant and tired. So I fell asleep almost immediately. The first flight felt like nothing. And then the second one was a little bit longer for me, but it wasn't bad. I still feel like it was such a short flight for them, honestly. But given that, by the time we got here, I feel like he had enough energy to go do stuff still. So we legit just kind of like bopped around the area where our hotel was. We just came in, we got settled, obviously, changed into something a bit more comfortable and warm. So we were both wearing like airport clothes. And then we got some food at this place called Blue Willow. He was in the mood for Chinese, so I told him he's gonna have to be the person to decide like where we go on this trip unless I suddenly get a craving of some sort, which lately pasta has sounded really nice. So I've actually never eaten at Little Italy here. So I definitely think I want to visit that at some point while we're out here, even if like we don't end up getting pasta. We stopped by and went near Radio City, and we went near Rockefeller Center, and they were having this like concert and show last night, so we were just eating our dessert for Magnolia. I was so in the mood for that pudding, so it was nice to go have that. And he is not a dessert guy, so I was so surprised to hear that he liked it a lot. Like, he literally was eating so much of it. Like, I was like actually so surprised. And so we got in, we stopped by Whole Foods on the way back to the hotel. We were done like eating, getting dessert, and just walking around a little bit, and I needed snacks because I get hungry sometimes even in the middle of the night, and if not in the middle of the night, definitely right when I wake up. And I figured we probably weren't going to be grabbing breakfast or anything for like the first hour or two before I'm dressed and I can get out. Picked up like cereal. We have like a little mini fridge here, and that is how I'm getting by. I also got some of these Fairlife protein shakes. I don't normally have these, but like right now, like I said, this is just convenience and survival, and so this is probably like my favorite travel one. It tastes just like chocolate milk. It's got protein in it, obviously, and they're really inexpensive, so I always love to reach for one of these if I'm out and about instead of a bunch of other junk. I love fruit, and I wanted something that was fruit-based, but obviously didn't go back. So what I brought was a water jug. Like, I kind of regret not bringing that. I was thinking I don't want to carry it around everywhere we go and then like lose it, so that's why I didn't plan to bring it, but I could have at the very least for sure used it here in the hotel room because we bought this like big gallon of like spring water, and I could have just chosen the opportunity to fill it up while I'm here, drink from that while I'm here, and then that with like one of these that if I lose, it's not that big of a deal. It's just like a recyclable water bottle. We're gonna go out, finally get some breakfast now. I think we're going to do bagels today because bagels sound really good to me, and that's what Jagger's kind of in the mood for too. I think I mentioned this before, but it is Sunday today. It's low-key super weird to not be at church doing like our thing. But like I said, last trip together, so we're going to enjoy each other's company. We have absolutely no plans for this trip, you guys. Like, I think we're literally Yelping every place we eat at right before we go and just taking it day by day. I've been here many times, so I've seen everything already. This is also not like a typical girls trip like I normally come on, so it is definitely still different in its own unique way and exciting to get to experience it with Jax, because specifically this time. We shall see what the day holds. Oh, and lots of coffee on this trip. We're here chatting away, and this is what I hear. Might have to get one of these for our son. Someone doesn't like to share.
by itself, super subtle. It tastes like gingerbread almost.
Cream cheese, huh? After judging me. Literally judging me.
It is kind of weird.
It's not weird.
But
A bagel is known for its cream cheese. Charlie? This is Charlie? Hi, Charlie.
there you go. She always, yes. Just like Layla.
Oh.
I got the big of the guy right there.
If he takes a picture of it, you know he likes it. He decides to take a picture of. It's not with me, but it is of you. waited a few weeks to pick up the camera and basically debrief the whole thing because life was going full speed and there was so much going on after our baby moon. So sorry, I am just now sharing this vlog, as well as just even like sitting down and chatting about it because I feel like so much took place those for a few short days. Let me just take a sip of my coffee before it fully cools down. Also, I apologize that the lighting is not the best because it is only 3 o'clock, but daylight savings, and so now this is legit how dark it gets by this point. But I am now 35 weeks, and yes, we did choose to do the baby moon during my 3rd trimester, which really wasn't entirely planned that way. Part of the reason why we wanted to wait a little bit later into pregnancy was because it's not any new news on here, but definitely I've struggled very hard throughout this entire pregnancy, still till this day, with food aversion. And although it's nowhere near as horrible as the 1st trimester, nausea is not as bad either, but I do still get hit with it every so often. Of course, there's like thousands of new symptoms that appear week by week, day by day, so we were hoping that by this point it would have fully settled down. Unfortunately, it still hasn't. I don't really experience a lot of cravings like I've mentioned before. Every so often I will. There's not really like one thing I'm fixated on that I'm just like I love and can have all day except for fruit. It is the one thing that doesn't cause a gag. If we were going on a trip, like of course one of the biggest things we have in mind is like we're foodies. We want to be able to eat everything and anything. Usually even when there is something I crave, I will inevitably, it does not matter what I do, I'll get a gag at some point throughout that meal. It doesn't matter how good it sounds to me, how appetizing it looks. Has just been my experience so far with pregnancy. As much as it sucks, it is what it is. Reasons why we decided to wait to go a little bit later. Per my doctor's instructions, I was okay to fly as long as it wasn't a month exactly before our due date, which if I don't recall, my due date is Christmas Eve. So also, we've been to New York before, if it wasn't mentioned already in the vlog. This is actually the place and the setting where Jagger proposed, so exactly 4 years ago. Make sure my math is right. Yes, in 2021, he proposed in Central Park over the Bow Bridge. And so it was really sweet to get to go back together alone, just the two of us, and relive some of those memories. Again, traveling this far in my pregnancy, along with the food aversions, even if I could rally. And I feel like that added such a great advantage to the trip, to literally be able to just go with zero expectations. We woke up every single day with no agenda, no real plan, because we had seen so much of it already. So if I was feeling particularly tired that day, I could choose to take a nap, I could choose to sit. And surprisingly, of all the times I've been to New York before, this happened to be the one time we didn't take the subway at all, which is nuts because how pregnant I was. You would have thought I would not have been able to handle that much walking, but I am a very active person, as I'm sure if you are. For those of you who are not new here, you know like my entire page, everything about my social media and my content is all about wellness and healthy living. So I do feel like I have to credit that for being able to withstand so much walking, because we walked everywhere, at least 20,000 steps each day. It wasn't until we were flying back that I feel like I really realized just how badly Jagger and I needed this. And she was here. She's at work, unfortunately. Kind of just give you guys a little bit of insight of what it kind of did for us. I know for me, I've been super transparent on here about how I've dealt with so much prenatal depression and just the unplannedness of becoming parents and getting pregnant during a time could not have been worse for us, honestly. And it, of course, flipping our world upside down this entire year. Gosh, I did not expect to suddenly get emotional. I think I'm good. One of our biggest worries throughout this entire journey so far has been that we're not going to be able to travel with the baby and a child in general. And that's something that I feel like we've had a really hard time letting go of, feeling super bummed we didn't get to see many places, as much of the world as we would have wanted before starting this chapter. If we thought we were not in a financial place for when I was physically working a 9 to 5. We really should have probably prioritized traveling so much more in our marriage the first few years, and I do regret not doing that. Yes, I am all about budgeting, I'm all about saving and getting rid of debt. Still, I feel like I've learned so much of that throughout my marriage. Man, I feel like it would have been nicer to just have a different mentality on it all, so that we could have made a few more trips, even if they were just within the States. Happen because it's not always about where you go. Sometimes it's just the quality time you spend with one another. For that reason, personally, a baby moon was very important to me. It was super important to Jagger too. He is such a numbers guy. he a money guy, and so when it comes to just having kids in general, starting a family, traveling, anything like that, I know for a fact what keeps him from being excited and wanting those kinds of things in life are usually the fact that, like, if the spreadsheet doesn't make sense and if the math doesn't make sense, then we can't do it. It's been a very interesting lesson we've learned throughout this journey of just being pregnant still. Preparing ourselves to become parents is never going to be ready, and the truth is the clock is ticking biologically for me too. I turned 31 since the baby moon and now. So the fact that I'm having my first child at 30 in my 30s is pretty insane to me. I don't think I ever envisioned that being the case for me. Not that it's a bad thing at all, by the way. I feel great. I've said this many times for those of you who follow me on Instagram, and like, I really do feel like going on this trip and spending that quality time together, I feel like our cups were filled in such a emotional, mental, and in an odd way spiritually as well. Today is actually also our 3-year anniversary. We've now been married 3 years, and we always talked about how we wanted to go to Paris on our next anniversary, but I think that just wasn't in the cards for this year. But we look forward to being able to have adventures like this with our son very soon. Basically, when we got back from the trip, it was immediately baby shower, my birthday, which we didn't do much for because I was exhausted. But we did go out to lunch, and I will share lots of memories and moments of that probably in the next vlog or two. But I did just want to say that if you're contemplating taking a baby moon or doing one at all, if you are someone who has struggled mentally with just like the life-changing aspect of this all, I can't recommend it enough. It does not need to be New York City, of course, and it doesn't even need to be far. That quality time, just the two of you, just it made such a difference for me. I could cry about it right now if I allowed myself to, but I won't, because throughout this journey I've shed enough tears. I'm ready for just the happiness, giddiness, the joyness, if that's even a word, of it all that it has to bring. Parents, having a kid, him joining our little squad is going to be really fun, and I'm aware the content on here is going to change now, so I will try my best to keep it still very relatable. But really quickly, before I wrap up this vlog, I don't know what the rest of the vlogs hold as of now. I know that there's still more life updates, baby pregnancy things that I share with my YouTube fam, as well as have for myself to look back on and remember. I just want to thank you guys so much for supporting my vlogs up until this point. Really nervous, like thinking to myself how I'm gonna upkeep any of this once I have a kid to worry about and juggle and balance, but I'm hopeful that I'll still be able to make some sort of a career out of this. That is why I quit my job, and if it all works well and this was a part of God's perfect plan, then I know He's doing exactly what He knows He's doing. And all I can do is pray and hope that it gives me the flexibility that I would always want to be able to be home with child, even if I did decide to do something else and go back to work for a little bit. I want options for my life. I want options for our family and our son. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the baby moon vlog, and I'll see you guys in my next one.